So after I put these in place of where I wanted them, I pretty much just made an outline of them with a pencil of where exactly I wanted them, with the little holes here, and put X's just to make sure that I knew exactly where the holes were. Measured, made sure there was at least 8 inches from the corner of it, or from the edge, to prevent any cracking or anything like that. And made sure that these were at least 16 inches apart. And then this is the hole for this one, which I just drilled a hole through because it doesn't have holes in it. And then I'm going to do that one as well. Here's the retaining wall. So after I do this, I just make sure that I am making sure that I'm not pushing it, letting the drill do its work. Every once in a while, I'll take it out like that, make sure some of that stuff is taken out. Another thing I did was measured from that end to that end, make sure that it was 3 inches, and then I just put the duct tape on where I want it to stop. Doing that, maybe there might be some rebar or something on the sides, but got to be where my 3 inches is. I'll continue with this hole and the other holes that I'll mark on that side. And yeah, I had to buy this little adapter thing for this drill bit because I didn't realize that you can only put a certain size of whatever these things are called, this part into that part. So anyway, this little impact driver. All right, I don't know if this is ghetto or what, but I am what I am, and I'm not afraid to admit it. So I'm gonna clean up the holes now. See, there's like dust and stuff in them before I put the epoxy in. And I am a genius, so I'm gonna use this home vacuum cleaner that my wife doesn't know I brought out here, and I'm gonna suck out the holes like this. So after vacuuming out the holes and using a straw to manually blow out all the mess, filled it up with epoxy about 3/4 of the way. I used that 5/8 drill bit and stuck the rebar in there. Now I'm going to do the same thing to these holes. I'm going to blow them out first. So the rebar finally set, as you can see. Now what I'm doing is I'm going to I went ahead and placed everything where I wanted to, make sure that everything underneath it is brushed out from underneath it so it doesn't make anything unlevel or anything like that. And then we want the part that's actually going to be holding the wood, which is going to be this inner part, to be, I guess, like right here, about 21 inches actually, like right here, just to kind of give it that more, I guess, of a floating effect. And then so then what I did was I just moved this block in that spot and marked it right in between these little spot in between here. And then I got a, let's see, I got a special, I guess, concrete diamond segmented blade that cuts wet or dry. And now I'm gonna cut on that line on both of these where I marked it. And hopefully that goes well. If I have any advice or anything like that, or if it's challenging at all, I'll let you know. I know that this stuff is kind of brittle, so it might just be a disaster, but hopefully it won't be. I might use some water. All right, so I cut those smaller blocks. It's a little harder than I thought, but got the job done. Definitely need water, otherwise I'll just spit all that dust and everything in your eyes. Had to do just some minor tweaks. I ended up making those holes in those things, and I ended up flipping them over to the other side just to make it a little bit smoother. There's my trusty help right there. Right there. His gloves just made a fart noise. Hey, sorry about that, everybody. Did the same thing here. So now what I'm gonna do, I just wanted to make sure everything fit perfectly. Hello. So I cut this thing to square, make sure that it was flush with this. I know that some people aren't gonna be doing it with this retaining wall already built in. That might be the way to go. I just know that we did the math on the cost savings, and to get somebody to actually do this for us was a lot cheaper than actually doing the cinder blocks all the way around. So now what I'm gonna do is, oh yeah, I just wanted to make sure everything got lined up. Now I'm just gonna wait until some of those blocks that I had wet and cut dry out, so I can put this construction adhesive. I'm just gonna make sure that I put this on all these different blocks, like on the insides of them, and then against this wall, whichever walls or whichever blocks are touching this wall, I'm gonna do it on the side, and then scoot them back in. And then once that sets and cures or whatever, I'm gonna take these blocks off and just fill it up with concrete. And yeah. Oh yeah, just so you know, I'm gonna have to remove all the blocks again and then put the adhesive on and then put it against the wall when I want to set it. I just haven't done that yet, but I'll show y'all once I get done, hopefully. All right, so this is during the whole COVID-19 thing, so you would think I would have lots of time during the day, but these kids and this wife won't leave me. So this is my only free time with no distractions. So my next step is to get this, which is commercial grade quickcrete advanced polymer construction adhesive. And pretty much what I'm doing is just putting this in between the blocks, on the sides, against the wall. This right here is just my makeshift clamp for it, just to make sure it stays in place and bonds together good. So now I'm about to do it to this side. I put them in a row of which way they were, so that's this rebar on this side, so that, and then these two go on top, and then that, actually that, and that go in that place. As my wife just said, it's getting kind of late, so make sure you don't make any mistakes. So I just realized when I was about to put on the covers of the concrete blocks that I couldn't, because I haven't made concrete yet. So I have to mix the concrete tonight, because this little bottle got a little messed up because I don't know exactly what I'm doing. But anyway, I do know what I'm doing. So anybody who has a wife or husband that says, leave that to the professionals, you don't know what you're doing, by the end of this, hopefully you'll say, hey, if this guy can do it, I can do it. That's the way I see it. And those are the only DIYs I follow. So anyway, here you go. Cheers, mate. So this was already here, but then we built this. That's going to be the retaining wall. And then we're going to do a floating bench right there in that little area. There's my construction babe. Mixing that concrete. All right, so we mixed the concrete in a wheelbarrow. Filled it up there. Gonna let it sit for, I guess, 24 hours or something. And then yeah, then I'm gonna put the adhesive on the top caps. And then start to using that concrete surface bonding material. One thing I didn't think about was when we were spraying off the slab that there's no drainage right here, so everything's going to kind of collect here. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to end up drilling a hole through this wall right there in the corner, just so that there's proper drainage, so we don't run into any issues as far as drainage. But yeah, there it is so far. Everything's still wet. This is just in the way. But yeah, cool. So I forgot to make a video of this yesterday when I was doing this, but this is the construction sealant. Pretty much what I did is, before it started drizzling, was kind of just go around and just sealed any gaps, any holes or anything. Tried making it a little bit more seamless, no real rough edges or anything like that. Those blocks are just holding it down right now. And yeah, we ended up having to make this a little bit higher, so we added an extra cap block on top of this one, and then we ended up having to add cap blocks on this one because the brackets that we have are 15 inches high. So there's parts of the patio that for it to be level would be like 14 inches, so we had to raise it about 1.5 inches, inch and 3/4. So that's why we added the cap block, but we still wanted those armrests to be about 8 inches from where you sit on the bench, like a standard armrest. So that's what we did. All right, so all that stuff is set. Make sure you spray down the concrete blocks with water prior to applying the surface bonding cement. I'm about to mix it up right now and then apply it, and I'll let y'all know if anything happens. All right, so I've mixed the surface bonding cement with some water. Okay, so I'm starting to put the brackets in, I made little holes in them of where I needed the wood to be on the top, and then also where I wanted the brackets to be. Then I'm just making little holes with my little impact driver and my concrete masonry drill bit, and just mark off the drill bit about 1/2 inch to 1 inch more than the screw is going to be, using the Tapcon screws for concrete. And then you make your little hole. I'm using a little straw just to put inside there and blow it out, all the dust, make sure it's clean. You can also use a steel brush or something like that to clean the hole, and then just putting in the drill bits. But these things are super sturdy.